live on a Tuesday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So I am so thankful to get back to our regular schedule. We are live today on Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. So when you come on, please tell me hello, how you're doing, tell us how you're doing, where you're from, all the things. We love to know those things. It's just kind of fun to see where everybody's from. So I have Victoria here, and she is going to be able to read all of the comments. If you are coming on right this very second and you don't see that little red live button up in the corner over on Facebook, it means you're watching the replay. Please put hashtag replay in the comments when you come on. So today we're going to make a Christmas wreath, and it's a little different than most of the wreaths you've seen me make. We're actually going to do a solid holly wreath on a grapevine wreath. So I have just taken a grapevine base, and we are going to glue some holly into it. Very, very simple. And we're going to put that together and show you how easy it is to make a solid wreath with using a grapevine wreath. What am I asking, Victoria? My mind just went blank. So this is, I want to say that it is an 18-inch grapevine wreath. And these are holly bushes. We actually ordered them from Legs Manufacturing. So if you watched our live yesterday over on Facebook, I opened a box that had all of our Christmas, and it's usually cemetery stuff, but we got this holly in. It's just a bush that has holly, and I thought I saw online a really pretty arrangement, a really pretty wreath made with something pretty similar, and I thought, I'm going to see if that works. So I tried it. It does. I'm going to show y'all how to do it. So this is just a bush. There are 12 stems of holly on this bush. And what I'm going to do is I am just going to take, it's got several different little clusters of holly. I just take it and push it all the way to the end of the stem. And I bend that down and I push it all the way. And so I'm just making small clusters of the holly.
On TikTok, Kevin says, hi, hope you're both having a nice day.
Hello, Kevin. We are wonderful. How about you?
And Oscar, thank you for the follow on TikTok.
Thank you, friend. So glad y'all are here. So you can see I'm just taking each stem and I'm pushing all of the greens up to the top of that stem.
On YouTube, Miss D says hello.
Hey, Miss D, how are you?
Miss Shelley says, hi, my favorite designers, finally cooler after a night of showers. We got 1.58 inches of pure liquid gold.
That is wonderful, isn't it? So I am going to take my wire snips. I've already cut up 3 bushes. It takes about 4 total bushes to make this as full as I wanted it. So I am just taking my wire snips and cutting those clusters right off of this stem.
On YouTube, Miss Beverly is watching from Prairieville, Louisiana.
Hello, friends.
Miss Patty says good afternoon, and Miss Valerie says, hi, I'm Valerie from Milton, Ontario in Canada. I love your artistic design.
Thank you, friend. So glad you're here, Valerie. Hello, hello, everybody. So glad you are here. Okay, I'm going to wind up dropping most of this on the floor because my workspace is not large enough. So I am going to pull a box from over here that's hiding. I'm going to set it right here on top of my trash can and move my holly right over into that box.
Miss Anna says, hi ladies, she's watching from Iowa. She says, rainy day but clearing up. I have holly bushes from my dad's hometown of Virginia. In order for the actual berries to develop, you have to have a male and female plant.
How interesting. Isn't that kind of fun? I think that horticulture is so neat. Now, it's far over my head. I've got a friend, Mary, who actually is a local grower of fresh flowers, and she has so much information in her head of how flowers grow and all the things, and I'm like, Mary, I'm so thankful that my job with flowers is so much simpler than trying to grow and knowing how things work. But it's amazing to hear how it all works. Well, this is artificial holly, so it really makes a beautiful display. Now, the berries are much larger than traditional holly berries, but I thought it really turned out beautiful. So I'm going to take I've got all of these little bunches that I pushed up to the top, and I just cut my stems to be about, I would say, 2 inches or so. I'm going to take that stem of holly. Here is my hot glue pan. Now, if you have ever never worked with a hot glue pan, you need one, especially if you do any kind of crafts like wreaths or any kind of floral arrangements that you need to glue into. It makes it so much easier. It's a lot less time consuming than picking up a glue gun, adding glue, putting it down, and you don't get blistered quite as easily. I'm going to take that stem of holly and I'm dipping it right down into that glue, and I'm just going to stick it right in to my wreath. I'm going to take a second stem and it's just going to be very repetitive. I'm just going to do it all the way around.
On YouTube, Rosemary is watching from Mid Wales, UK.
Hello, friend.
Emmanuel says hello from France.
Wow, welcome. I don't know if we've ever had anybody from France, have we, Victoria? Welcome. So glad you're here.
Tracy says, I ordered a soup tourin after watching you use a bread bowl. I'm going to need a floral budget. That fall display was gorgeous.
Thank you, friend. Thank you. I actually just did another video today with a pumpkin, a fresh pumpkin, and I have never done a pumpkin arrangement like this particular one. So I'm excited for you to see that new video. Owen will get that up in a few days.
And if anyone is interested in those bread bowls, we actually just posted them on our Shopify.
Fantastic. Thank you, Victoria.
So they are now available, as well as some others. We got some new ones in, so they are now up on the Shopify for sale if anyone is interested.
Yes, please check out our Shopify website. We've got ribbons and we've got bows and we've got dough bowls and different things, so we would love for you to check us out there. So with each stem, I'm just dipping it right down into that glue, and I am putting it side by side really close because I want this to be a solid holly wreath. So I'm taking each stem, dipping it right down into that glue, and just nestling it right next to one another, just really tight.
Rhea says, I bought a grapevine wreath today. It has olive leaves and little olives on it. I thought it would be great to put my own flowers on.
That sounds so pretty already, yes. And it's so easy to do, Rhea. You are so creative. I know that you know exactly what to do.
Miss Mary Lou asks, how are you both doing? Beautiful day in Pittsburgh.
We are doing great. It has been so hot in Mississippi, though. It is miserable hot. Like, it's so strange. You know, it's so funny, though. When it gets cold, we're going to be fussing because it's cold. So it's kind of dang if you do and dang if you don't. I bet the Lord's thinking, Monty, you're going to fuss anyway. I'm going to do what I want to because you're going to fuss anyway. So I'm just taking each stem, dipping it right into that glue, and just putting it side by side. See how it's really tightly clustered? And you're just going to turn that wreath and dip. And I'm dipping some of the leaves down in there.
Miss Margaret Lynch says, good evening, happy Tuesday. Our young soccer player is not doing good, asking all watching for prayers for our 22-year-old. Thanks.
We certainly are, Miss Margaret. I am continuing to pray for him. Repeat his name. Is it Kevin? Was that correct? Tell us his name so that we can pray for him by name.
Miss Eva says, hi, Flower family. Today I am thankful for your daily lives. You all are so much like my family. When you are bedridden and alone, you bring a smile daily.
Oh, I'm so thankful you're here, sweet friend. So thankful you're here. Okay, so I'm going to just continue to just dip and stick. I know that this is very repetitive, but in the end, you're going to go, oh, that is beautiful. I have been so pleased with them.
Miss Rhea asks, will there be any ribbons on this wreath?
Of course, Rhea. You know we have to do ribbon. We have to put a pretty ribbon on it. I wanted to make this wreath where it was very easy to interchange ribbons. So I felt as if with this wreath you could absolutely, I think it would be something that you could do for Christmas and then transfer it over into winter, because I feel like it would be pretty just on your front door. And then as you go into Valentine's Day, you could probably change it and put a Valentine's Day bow on it. I've always liked a pretty red berry wreath and be able to interchange those bows to make it work for, you know, all those winter holidays. And I felt like this might be pretty for winter holidays.
Miss Janice Vaxalone is on. She says, how wonderful to finally catch you live. Say an extra prayer. I'm having severe asthma, even with oxygen, but I thank God for it because it would be so much worse without it. God bless you, special friends.
Oh, bless your heart. Not being able to breathe would be so hard, Miss Janice. I'm so thankful that you have oxygen for sure.
Sorry.
Are we already dark?
No, the battery gone.
Oh, snapdragon. Okay, so I'm just continuing the same thing. I know that this is very repetitive, but I'm just taking each stem and dipping them in that glue and just tucking them right in. So see how pretty it is already? It's laying on that table, Victoria. I unplugged it, but it was full before I unplugged it. Did you find it? I'm like, but it was full.
Sorry, YouTube.
For some reason, our batteries do not tell the truth.
Yeah,
When you plug it in, when you turn it on, it says it's full. And then within minutes, it's like, I was kidding. Just kidding. Now, the only thing you're going to find with this hot glue pan, it's the same with a glue gun. It's going to string some, so you just have to be sure to pull those strings off. I have been told to take a blow dryer and turn it on, and it will help those strings to shrink. I've never done it, but I heard that it works. So if you'll just take and hold all of those leaves and berries in your hand and then dip that stem, you're not going to get the leaves and berries in the glue.
So sorry, YouTube.
You got us fixed.
I got it fixed. I'm so sorry, TikTok, that I was in the way
We're
of
so thankful
that.
for you, Victoria, that you
Yeah.
know how to do it all. Because if it were up to me, it'd be a mess.
I only know it because of Owen.
Well, I'm thankful for you both. I couldn't do it. So each stem, I'm just dipping right into the glue. I know it's very repetitive. I apologize.
Miss Rhea says they look almost like hypericum berries.
Yeah, they're large, kind of like hypericum berries, but the greens, like the little leaves, are very holly. But I loved that they were so red, and so I liked the fact that they were large. Of course, almost kind of cartoonish. They're so large, but they're so pretty. I think they are so pretty.
Miss Brita O'Brien says, good night, ladies. Can't wait to see it finished.
Good night, sweet friend. So thankful you were here.
Miss Margaret says his name is Kevin.
Kevin, I thought so, Miss Margaret.
Miss Janice Sloan says, yes, the blow dryer works. Have it on high and it'll melt the glue.
Fantastic. Yeah, because those little strings will drive you crazy.
Let's see. Miss Valerie asks if the holly bushes are from Shein.
No, ma'am. The holly bushes are from Legs Manufacturing. I ordered some silk flowers from them for cemetery work, and I actually I made some cemetery vases yesterday with some of their flowers. I ordered this holly to go with it. And last night I was on social media, and I saw this wreath, and I sent a picture to Callie, and I said, Callie, I think this is our holly that we purchased. And so when I got here today, after we were finished with all of our orders this morning, I started to play with them, and I put together a wreath, and I said, Victoria, this is the exact wreath. This is what we need to do on the live today, because it's kind of a neat technique. It's very easy, so simple. You can do it with any type of pick. It needs to be pretty compact though, like this holly. But I could see you using eucalyptus or any type of greenery and just gluing it in. I know for my fall wreath on my front door, I had found some fall leaves. They were just fall oak leaves. pretty nice size picks, and I did this exact technique, and it turned out just beautiful. And so this is so simple yet so pretty.
Let's see, Rhea says, it's amazing how quickly a wreath can come together, and it's quite easy to do. Always looks amazing.
Thank you, friend. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's really very simple.
Joanne says, blow dryer or heat gun, whichever you have available. Miss Julie says, the holly is so pretty because they are variegated green colors.
Yeah, it does have several different colors of green, which I agree. I think that's so nice.
Miss Renee Banks says, hello, wreath is so lovely. Love the holly and the red berries.
Thank you. I thought this was fun.
Miss Rhonda Hilton says, good morning here in Australia. I love watching you make Christmas wreaths and can't wait to see you decorate Christmas trees. They were so beautiful last year.
Oh, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. I will be. It's not long now. Not long now before we get started on Christmas trees. I'm kind of behind. I know there's lots of people who are already doing their Christmas trees.
Prim and Pip Floral and Craft says, hello, Monty. I caught you 2 days now.
Yay! I'm so glad. Welcome, friend.
She says, you're doing what I've been doing for a couple days now. Great minds think alike.
I actually, how many wreaths did I make today, Victoria? 5? 4 or 5? So we've been working on it slowly but surely.
Miss Suzanne says, I caught you live again.
Hello, friend. Hello. So glad you're here.
Miss Becky Moore says, it looks great. The larger berries make it pretty.
Isn't it pretty? They show up so well. Okay, I'm leaving a little spot there in the middle. And the reason is it's so much easier and it's not wasted greenery if I leave a spot to tie our bow. Now I'm going to kind of look around like I need some leaves there. So I like to look on the sides and make sure, so like right here it's missing one, so I'm going to take it. I like to kind of stand back and see exactly what it needs.
Miss Doris asks, where did you get that beautiful holly?
That holly came from the company Legs Manufacturing. They're online. You just have to type in Legs, Leggs Manufacturing.
Or Everlasting Floral.
Everlasting Floral. I don't know though if their website is under Everlasting Floral, but I did find it on Legs Manufacturing.
Miss Anne says, beautiful, what do you charge for the holly wreath?
So this wreath, after I put on the ribbon, is $125. Okay, does that look full from where you are? Am I missing something there? Okay, I can add more if I need to, but that's the gist. So there's our pretty wreath. I know that he kind of has a bald spot on the top, but we're gonna tie a pretty bow to go here in the center. So we chose, what was
Warm Wishes.
Warm Wishes is the name of this bow. So we like to mix ribbons, but if you don't like to mix ribbon, you don't have to. You could put a very simple red velvet bow. You certainly can never mess up red velvet, or a pretty traditional plaid. I think it's always beautiful. But I can almost see taking this and even after Christmas, after your Christmas bow, changing it to even a winter bow. I just think it would be really fun. Okay, so I've got to look at that bow. We're going to start out with our gold shimmer. I don't even know the names of these, but it's just kind of a shimmery gold. We're going to start with it, because I don't know how it's layered. I wanted to choose a bow that we had on our website, so if you liked the bow, you could absolutely order them. Now, let me say this too. If you like certain ribbons and you want a special bow tied, we can do that. So send us a message. Go over to Facebook and send us a message on Messenger, and I am happy to make a custom bow for you. Don't feel like if you see something and you don't love all those ribbons together, we can certainly make it custom. I am going to tie a bow with the gold shimmer. It's almost a champagne, just a really pretty shimmery gold. So I'm going to tie it a little different. I'm going to leave us some long tails. So I'm taking my ribbon and I've got the shimmer facing me, and I'm going to make a loop, and I'm going to hold it between my thumb and my forefinger. I'm going to twist that ribbon because I want the gold facing me, the shimmer to face me, and I'm going to make another loop just like that. I'm going to twist, make a loop, twist, and make a loop. So I have 4 loops of that pretty shimmery gold. Can you hand me those scissors, Miss Victoria? Thank you, darling.
Hi, Miss Saska. It's good to hear from you. She says, glad to catch you live after quite some time. How are you all? It's a beautiful wreath.
We are good, friend. We are good. So glad you're here. Okay, next we're going to come in. This is a really pretty, it's got a little Christmas tree print. I love this deep red, and it's got gold and greens. Really, really pretty. Now, I'm not going to add my tail yet, and let me tell you why. If I added tails here, my trees are upside down, and that is a pet peeve. I don't love an upside down ribbon print, so I always, if it would be upside down, I just start. I'm going to lay that ribbon right behind where I'm holding my gold, and I'm going to make a loop, and I'm going to twist and make a loop.
Miss Joan High says she just placed an order.
Did you? Thank you, friend. Thank you, thank you.
Miss Rhea says, perfect for a bow maker, available from your website.
That's right. That's right. All of our ribbons are available. These bows, we do not have this ribbon per roll, but we do have the bows available. So now I cut that tail because that ribbon is going, the print's going in the correct direction. So I'm going to take another strip, and I'm just going to lay it underneath, and I'll just tie it all together. So there's my 2 tails of my red. Next, we're going to come in with a shimmer green. It's such a pretty olive green, and it matches pretty good. So I'm going to take that, and now I like to, as I just hold it and layer. Now, if that's too much, you do not have to tie a bow like I do. You can tie this off, then take the next one, tie that bow, put it on the back, and tie it off. If it's hard for you to hold. We also have bow makers. So it's a wooden bow maker, and it is wonderful if you have any issues with carpal tunnel or grip. It's hard sometimes to grip lots of ribbons. The bow makers work wonderful. So I'm going to take my green, and I'm going to add the green.
Miss Jones says, so excited to receive it.
Yay! Thank you, Miss Joan. Thank you for your order.
Miss Mary Thomas asks for the cost of the bow. So without tails, the bow on our Shopify website is $12.99, and then with tails it's $16.99.
And we're also going to put up red velvet bows. We don't have any red velvet bows up right now. But here at our shop, red velvet is our most popular bow. When customers come in here, they don't often buy all of these mixed prints. Often our most popular is the red velvet bow. So we will also have those available. I'm going to take just a pretty traditional plaid. It has a little bit of a shimmer, a gold shimmer in it. So it works really great with all of the other ribbons. So I am just going to put, I think I'm going to put 4 loops total. So I left a tail. And again, I am just holding it all together at the same time.
Our Miss Kathy Nielsen says, happy Tuesday from Florida.
Hello, friend. Hello. I'm so glad you made it. Thank you for being here with us.
Miss Jones says, I just finished decorating 2 Christmas trees in my great room, starting early due to decorating trees at our church.
Yay! Send us pictures. We want to see them. We're going to have to do that through the holiday season, is share pictures of our Christmas decorations. That's so fun to see how everybody decorates and all the pretty things. So I just took a piece of wire and I laid it in the center, and I'm just twisting that wire so that I have a pretty loopy bow. So here are all those fun tails. I like lots of tails. Now, if you don't want lots of tails, we can cut those tails short. So don't feel like you're stuck with lots of tails, because sometimes that's a little overwhelming, and I get it. So I'm just taking and fluffing that bow by pulling those loops.
Harzona on TikTok says, hello everyone from Alabama.
Hello friend, so glad you're here. Okay, so I'm going to take my scissors. I'm going to take my ribbon. I like to do a dove cut on my ribbons. So I'm going to take and fold that ribbon in half, and then I'm going to just cut a V in that ribbon. So it just kind of finishes off that ribbon. See how it kind of leaves us a little V? It just finishes off those ribbons. It just makes it look nice. I think these scissors might cut better.
Robin's Flower says, sent you some pictures of funeral work today. Let me know what you think.
I sure will. Yes, ma'am.
Rhea says, I have some red bells the size of an apple. I like to hang them on a door wreath.
Ooh, they sound so pretty. I know they're beautiful. I love bells, though. Bells are so pretty.
Flora in Sugarland says, gorgeous work, ma'am.
Thank you, friend. Thank you. Thank you.
Dawn asks if this is for a customer.
No, ma'am. This is for sale. So we do have these available, and we can ship. And they are $125, and we custom make the bow. So whatever ribbon you would like, we can custom make the ribbon. But it's $125 with all the bows and all the things. So I'm going to just take my wreath, and I laid this bow right in the center where I didn't have the greens, and I'm just going to take that wire and twist it tightly.
On TikTok, Shannon says, so pretty, I enjoy your work.
Thank you, Shannon. Thank you, thank you.
Miss Nita asks, or says, good evening, are you doing a Christmas home tour?
I will do a Christmas home tour, yes, but my house is not ready for Christmas yet. But I will certainly take you on a tour of my home. Now, I have a very modest home. I do not have a fancy home. I have a very modest home. Nothing's really fancy, but I love it, and it makes me happy. So, but it's nothing fancy. So just a warning that I don't have a fancy home.
They're saying it's beautiful.
Thank you, thank you. And again, these are available. So message us if anybody is interested, and we can, of course, custom make your bow however you want it. And if you don't want all these tails, that's completely understandable. We don't have to put all the tails.
Miss Verline asks, what is the price of that bow with the long tails?
So this is a little larger than our $16 bow. This one is about probably a $20 bow. I just did larger loops. But yeah, we do have them that are this size for with the tails for $16.99. Isn't that right, Victoria? Mm-hmm. And with the short tails is $12.99.
Stacy Jane asks, do you ever use zip ties for bows? I started and I love them. Easier on your hands too.
I have not. I think I always just did it with the wire, so I've never really tried it with zip ties. I've seen designers use zip ties, but I've never tried it before. That is so pretty, y'all. Mm-hmm. Like, that is so pretty. I love this wreath. I am so impressed with how pretty it turns out.
Miss Dawn asks, is it $125 with the bow?
$125 with the bow, yes ma'am. So we will customize the bow, but yes ma'am, it's $125. This is all inclusive.
Miss Dorothy asks, how much is this bow? You said around
that
20?
Bow is around 20. So if you want just the bow, it would be 20.
And then we have the smaller versions on our Shopify.
Yeah, and if you want the larger version, message me on Facebook, and we are happy to put that together for you. Mm-hmm. And we can make any of those bows custom. So any of the bows that you see, we can certainly make them larger or smaller or any of the things. So just message me with a picture of the one that you like, and that way we would be happy to customize it. We don't mind doing that at all.
Gloria says, I just got ribbon from HL. You make it look so easy. Let's see how I feel after my first one.
Yes, it's practice, practice, practice. And let me say that wired ribbon is so much easier than non-wired ribbon, okay? And I will do a video using our bow maker. I have several quick videos using the bow maker, but if you struggle holding ribbon in your hand, the bow maker makes all the difference in the world. It really, really does. Dawn Miller actually last year for Christmas bought bow makers for Christmas gifts, and they really are really nice. Victoria, can you hand me that one that's right there? And I can actually, so it's just a little wooden, piece. And it actually has measurements. This one's a little smaller than some of the ones you'll see. I think this one will make this size bow very easily. But very simple. It's got 6 inches on each side. And all you're gonna do, actually, I'll make a bow real quick. All you're gonna do is take your ribbon. So you're gonna start, when you saw me make this bow, hand tie this bow, I start with the smaller gold first. And when you make a bow maker, you're going to start backwards. And it's because you're layering those ribbons right on top. So I'm just going to take this wired ribbon. You'll leave your tails as long as you want them. And I push it right down into between those 2 dowels. It comes with 3 dowels. I only use the 2. The 3rd dowel, usually they stick down here in the end and you can stick your ribbon on it. For me, that's in my way. So I'm going to take that ribbon and I'm going to twist it and I'm going to make that loop as large as I want it. And usually I just drop my ribbon in the floor so that it's out of my way. But I'm going to make that loop. I'm going to push that. I'm just making a loop and pushing that right down.
MB Events says hello from Jamaica on TikTok.
Wow, welcome friend. I'm so glad you're here.
Dawn Miller says I did and they all love the bow maker as a gift for Christmas. And Miss Linda Logston asks, how many picks did you end up using on your wreath?
So those little bushes have 12 stems per bush, and I used 4 total bushes. So there were 48. Isn't that right? 4 times 12 is 48. So 48 little pieces. And the little pieces look just like this. I had some extras from another wreath that I didn't put quite enough in. So
Miss Carol, all the silks, the greenery, it's all from Legs Manufacturing.
It's just a website online. Okay, so I just took, that's the 4 loops, that's the back loops of this bow. Okay, then you're going to take the next ribbon and you can just layer. Now you can make your bow all the same, or you can layer the different ribbons. So I'm going to push that green right down, and then you're going to twist because you want that shimmer to show. So you're going to twist it, and you're actually going to put the shimmer face down. It just takes a little practice, but you can see how, throwing stuff on the floor, you can see how this holds it so you're not having to hold it with your hands. It makes it so much easier.
Miss Rhea says, I can see this wreath with decorated lanterns on either side.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you could really decorate it however you wanted to. If you wanted to add other picks down into that wreath, you absolutely could. So you're just going to continue to layer that bow. I think next was the red.
Miss Charlotte says, making large bows, I think I might have to order me a bow maker soon. Thanks for the demo.
It really, really does help your hands, I tell you. Now, I am not as fast with the bow maker. I've just never, this is really, last year was the very first time that I ever worked with a bow maker. So I am not nearly as fast with a bow maker as I am just tying it with my hands. But y'all, it makes just as pretty of a bow as if I tied it with my hands. Now, I did leave my ribbon upside down over here, and that bothers me. So, what I'm going to do is take and cut that off.
Miss Dawn Miller wants to know if you can make something with Christmas bells.
Christmas bells, I can if I can find some. I think I have some Christmas bells in my attic. I certainly will. So see, I'm just steady layering that bow, just steady layering, and add the gold. And you will just put as many loops on each side as you would prefer. Don't feel like you have to make them even. I don't always make them even. I tend to make some topsy-turvy bows that are just kind of different and creative. So don't feel like you have to have 2 loops on each side of each color. It doesn't have to be perfect. Perfectly symmetrical. You can do it however you want to. Now, if you are a symmetrical person, you can put them on both sides. Okay, now to tie this bow off, so everything's stacked, just the same as I did up there. Exactly the same. Now, this is where a zip tie might come in handy, or you can pull it out and tie it normally. So what I like to do is I just pull it all out. So I've just got it all out in my hands. I'm going to take my wire, lay it right up underneath that thumb, and pull those wires back.
Stacy Jane says, if you use zip ties a few times, your hands will thank you, and you can get the tie so tight.
Yes, it does get tight. It does. All right, and here you're going to take and just fluff that bow. Now you will find that bow maker, everything's pretty flat because I'm steady squashing it all down.
Flora in Sugarland says, I need some advice from you, man.
All right, send me a message. I'm happy to give you advice.
Rhea says, I find doing things by hand is often just as quick. I often make bread and knead the dough myself. It's very therapeutic.
That Rhea, honey, we need to make a trip to go see Rhea. She would cook for us. We would be some happy people. So it takes me a little longer to fluff a bow when I make it with a bow maker. But it makes a pretty bow. It makes a bow just about as pretty as my hand-tied bows.
Flora in Sugarland says, thank you so much.
Of course, of course. But there you go. See, it's just about as pretty as this one. I'm not quite as good at the bow maker as I am by hand, but I'm learning slowly but surely. But see, it's a beautiful bow.
Miss Margaret Lynch wants to know if you have to have a VAT number to buy from Legs.
I don't know. They do have retail and they have wholesale. Of course, I have a wholesale license, so I get it a little less expensive, but they do have retail on Legs. Because I had to sign in with my wholesale license. There we go. Very pretty, very simple. These, I think, how much are these online?
I can check. I think they're 16.
Are they 16 or 17? Something like that.
They are. Yes, $15.99.
$15.99. $16. Easy peasy. Helps you make a bow. So easy. But there's that pretty bow from the bow maker. So very simple. I say very simple. It takes a little time. But it does make a beautiful bow, especially if you struggle with holding that ribbon. And I tell you, this time of year, I'll have this arm so sore. And it's just because I have to grip so much.
Kyle Dunbar says, I love the wreath and the bow.
Thanks, Kyle. Thank you. Thank you.
Miss Dawn asks, did you see the Grapevine lady on Facebook? She is showing how they make the wreath, deer shapes, and angels. It was interesting. I have never seen it before.
I have not. We had a little guy come by the other day, and I bought a couple of 6-foot grapevine trees. And he said that he makes 500 grapevine trees during the summertime. And then he sells all of them. He's sold out by mid-November, which is crazy to me. But it's 6 foot. It's so big and pretty.
Joan High says, I need to add that to my order.
It's wonderful. They are wonderful. They really are.
Janice Smith asks, can you make a custom centerpiece if I send you a picture of it?
Yes, absolutely. I'll be happy to.
Robin's Flower says, I was shown to put wire in first, then pull up and crisscross on top, and after pulling ribbon out, take it to the back. I guess for the bow maker.
For the bow maker. Oh, okay. I've watched a few videos. I just found that it was just as easy for me to pull it off. But yes, there are videos where, and some people will just take and go ahead and zip tie while it's still held in the bow maker. But yeah, there are lots of YouTube videos on how to tie it off if you struggle with trying to pull it all out and it's staying together. For me, it was just as easy to pull it out and tie it. But a zip tie works wonderful, and you're not going to lose all your loops.
I Need More Cowbell says hi on TikTok.
Hello, friend. Hello. So glad you're here.
Priscilla Stoddard says, sent you a picture of my sister's fall tree on Messenger.
Ooh, thank you. I will go and look.
Yep, but I don't see any more questions.
Guys, thank y'all so much for being here. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up or a heart. That helps us to be seen. Do me a favor, if you have not checked us out on all the platforms, y'all go check us out. We are on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. So we would love to have you visit us and follow us on all those platforms. We will be back first thing in the morning at 8 o'clock to do a devotion over on Facebook. If anybody is interested in a wreath similar to this, we would love to make you one. You can send us a message on Facebook and we can make it and get it shipped to you before Christmas. If you have any questions about anything we do here at Flowers by the Bunch, you can always ask. I'm so happy to answer. We will see you soon. Thanks, guys. That's a pretty bow, Victoria.